Welcome to the Pine Hill Inn B&B and part one of your Advent house build. Hi, my name is Ken. I'm one of the owners of Pine Hill Inn. My wife Chris is the other. We do a lot of our own decorating, especially for the holidays. And one of the decorations we always wanted to have was a Advent house calendar like you would see on the Chevy Chase movie, Family Christmas Vacation. We looked at various options that were available out there. You can buy one, but there's one company that sells one and it's about $2,000. You can buy the plans and then build from there, or you can buy a kit, and I purchased the kit. Now, as background, I've built quite a few models in my time just as a hobby. Everything from plastic models as a kid to doing doll houses for a granddaughter, and then I've done some ship models and have a lot of modeling tools. But you don't need a lot of equipment to build this, just some patience and time. Now, saying that, I'm going to rate the build on this as to be difficult and to be higher than average skill required to put it together. I purchased this from Jonathan at adventhouse.com. This is part one of two parts, and then I'll cover some other things in the second part. And I first purchased the plans, thinking I could build it off the plans. And when I took a look at the plans, and they were very detailed, but they weren't to scale, they were like 1 to 12 and that type of thing. I felt that that was just too much work. So I decided to buy the kit. And I purchased the kit, and this is the result. Now, not everything that you see is in the kit. You have to come up with your own brick front. You have to come up with your own base is what you want to do there. But everything else, the windows and the doors and all are part of the kit. When you receive the kit, now when I purchased the kit, it was I think $5.99. And now it's down to $3.49, which is a pretty good deal. But I think they changed the price. This is after Christmas sale, but they lowered the price about 3 weeks after I bought it, so go figure. But that's okay, it's worth it for us because we really enjoy it. Now, when you receive the kit, what will come is a large box with a lot of different pieces of MDF like this, where you have to cut out pieces to put together. You'll also receive a box, a smaller box of small parts that are pieces for the windows and for some of the items up on top, the atrium. The instructions that Jonathan gives say that if you have something missing, to let him know within 3 days. Lots of luck with that because it's so detailed and there's so many pieces. You will not know within 3 days if you're missing something or not. Maybe if you're missing something major. In other words, you could go through and make sure you have each one of these sheets that you're supposed to have. But I was missing the sills for the windows. I made my own because I do other model making. I have wood that you could get at Hobby Lobby or any place like that. And so I made my own window sills. But it was past the 3 days, so it was too late to notify Jonathan. Now, there are videos that Jonathan has made online that can be helpful, but some of them cover the way this model was put together as a kit in prior years, and it's a little different today. So some are helpful and some may not be quite as helpful. He also does not have videos for everything, so there's a number of things missing. There are instructions with the kit, but they're not very good. I just have to say that they could be better. I think the videos are better than the instructions that come with the kit. And I know even with my background, I had to go actually to the original plans, which aren't part of this. You have to buy those separately in order to figure out how some things went together. But otherwise, it was fairly straightforward. Jonathan recommends when you cut out these pieces from the wood, they're sort of etched out, but you have to finish cutting them out all the way, that there's a router tool that goes with a Dremel tool, which I do have a Dremel tool, and you use that and it makes it a lot simpler. I didn't have that bit for the Dremel tool, but it is very messy, lots of dust, lots of pieces flying all around. Just put up with it, and then once you have everything cut out, it's there. Now once you cut out the pieces, it's made out of this type of wood as shown here. It's press board, basically. So you'll have one for the front, and then one for each side, and one for this front, and then one for each back side. Now you notice here I've got windows on the side. It doesn't come with windows for the side. It comes with these windows, but they do not supply the windows on the sides. So you need to decide when you start putting this together if you're going to put windows on the side or not. If you are, you'll have to buy some. So they're extra. Jonathan will sell those. So you put this base together first, and you use glue. You use super glue. Now the super glue I like the most is the Gorilla super glue. You'll use lots of it. I probably went through 10, 12 of these tubes. And the reason I like the Gorilla Glue is because it comes out not so quickly. It's not runny, it's more of a somewhat of a gel, and so it's easier to put into place. You build the sides, you put them together, and then you build the top, you put that together. When you build the whole project, some pieces are separate. For example, these up top, this fence comes apart. It's hooked up by magnets. Very clever design that they came up with. And the only thing is that they're extremely fragile. I've already broken a couple of these tips off the top, and just in storing them and you know, putting them together. So you have to be very careful about this. I'm actually thinking of going to some, this is just a piece of plastic. It doesn't come with it, I just one I happen to have. I'm going to a dollhouse site perhaps and come up with some different railings. When you put it together, you'll also want to make this a separate piece, and you'll want to make this a separate piece because it makes it so much easier when you store it off season. And then you just have the base to store. When it comes to putting on the windows, they're fairly simple. Mine came in multiple piece kits. You spray it whatever color you want, and they open and close quite nicely. If they don't and they swing open by themselves, you can always take a piece of this vellum paper, glue it up top, and then paint it the same color green, and then when it closes it sort of rubs against it and helps make it stay closed. Otherwise some of these windows want to swing open before. I didn't have enough vellum in the kit to do the windows and the atrium and the pictures. I'm not sure why. For $599 I would have thought he could have included enough vellum. No big deal, you can go to any office supply store or online and buy 50 sheets of vellum for about $5. But it just seems that they should have had all that vellum there. Now once you put this together, you can have a choice of how you want to finish it. I chose sort of a stone finish for the top and a brick on the side and a stone applique on the bottom. I will cover in video 2, I'll go over how I put this together, in what order, and where I got the brick from and some considerations. I will also cover lighting on the inside and where to get the pictures, because they didn't get supplied by Jonathan. Okay, now go to the Advent House build, part 2.